Hi Penguins fans, I'm Josh Yohe, he's Rob Rossi here for Trib Total Media. Final score, Penguins 5, Rangers 2, Rob. It's 10 in a row. And we'll get to the Penguins themselves and how good they are first, but this night was all about Sidney Crosby. He played 16 minutes even, had an assist. It wasn't vintage Crosby, he's obviously not in top form, but Rob, I thought he played pretty well, and most importantly, he got through the game unscathed and felt great afterwards.
Yeah, Josh, I thought the thing that struck me most about Sidney was he just let the game come to him. I know you wrote about this in your great story for the Trib, triblive.com, but he just looked comfortable. Let the game come to him, let the flow come to him, didn't initiate the contact. I saw his parents after the game. I saw Dee Rizzo. I saw Ron Burkle, David Morehouse, the Penguins owner, Ron Burkle, David Morehouse, the Penguins CEO. Everybody just seemed really comfortable with this. It's like they have a better grasp on it now. That doesn't mean everything's going to work out.
Right.
We don't know, but it just seemed like there was a comfort level that I didn't sense when he came back for those 8 games from November to early December. And he just seemed to fit into the team dynamic. And the thing I noticed right away, he didn't go out looking to sort of engage, but when he was behind the net, very physical, but it was the Sidney type of physical. It was that little brush he'll give you, behind the cage, along the boards, then he turns on the jets, cycles back, loops around. You saw it with the pass to Kuditz for that
Shrugged
goal.
off Mark Stahl on that play.
Absolutely. That's Sidney Crosby. That's not the Sidney we saw 4 months ago.
And he admitted that he came out tonight after the game and admitted, he said, hey, I initiated too much those 2 games back. And we saw, like, what's he doing? He's trying to pick fights, and he was testing himself then. And like you mentioned, and we sensed ever since late January when the revelations about his neck came out, he's at peace. He finally knew what was wrong with him, I think. And is he out of the woods? Hey, until the season's over and until he's taken some hits, we're always going to wonder, hey, is he okay? But some obviously really positive developments tonight with Sidney. Speaking of positive developments, that's 10 in a row for the Penguins.
Yeah.
They've beaten this team twice.
Started?
Yeah, they started in number 10, and they won here earlier this season, 3 in a row against the Rangers, and the Rangers might have the most points in the Eastern Conference, Rob, but I think the favorite in the East is something different.
I got a chance to talk to a lot of the national guys that were in tonight, Pierre LeBrun, Darren Dreger, a lot of national guys in, and the consensus among all of us, I'm leaving out some, but my point is this, the people that see a lot more of this league than we do are all saying the same thing. The Penguins symbolically announced tonight they're the best team in the Eastern Conference. Now, that said, they still might have to win a Game 7 in New York to get it to the Stanley Cup Final. But even Mike Rupp said it before the game when I was talking to him. He said, look, that's a good team. I think it's one we're going to have to go through if we want to get where we want to go. You get the feeling that the Rangers do it. Now, clearly, the Rangers were outmanned tonight. Their MVP candidate, Henrik Lundqvist, their captain, Callahan. That's a lot to play against. And I thought they showed really strong against the Penguins. They were gritty, but I think there's a problem here for the Rangers, and it's a fundamental problem, Josh. Does it
involve goal scoring?
Well, yes, but it involves goal scoring from the standpoint of they win close, tight checking, physical games. And the Penguins will play that game every day, and they'll just be able to score more goals. And, I talked to Evgeny Malkin. There's an exclusive interview on the triblive.com site. Gina talked to me after the game. The thing that stuck out to me in that interview was when he said, we've got our team. This is our chance to go win again. And you get the sense, I get the sense that everybody in that room feels like, you know what, stay healthy, get to the playoffs, bring on whatever you may.
Yeah, so many positive developments other than Crosby. Chris Letang made his return and was a +5.
Paul Martin was a +3.
Paul Martin a +3. And all of a sudden, those two are clicking. We saw it before Letang's injury in Dallas. You got to leave those two together. Orpik and McCulloch didn't have a great game, but they have the look of a real shutdown pair. All of a sudden, it's amazing how things are coming together. It won't be easy, Rob. The Penguins have won 10 in a row, but they're going to a place on Saturday where they often struggle in New Jersey. Probably the biggest test on this trip so far.
And, there were a lot of great developments tonight. But the things we'll overlook, you talked about Letang, Jordan Stahl, now 9 straight games with a point. Quietly having a dominant year. And, we haven't even mentioned him. I ended up rewriting my game story about it. Yes, I had to write a game story for the 3rd time all year because this guy was doing such a great work on the Crosby piece. But Marc-Andre Fleury, Evgeny Malkin flat out said he should be the MVP. Stop talking about me. If I had to vote,
we were chatting with Brooks Orpik after the game, and we were saying, we still don't really think Flower gets the recognition around the league he deserves. And Orpik said, yeah, he does. And then he said, doesn't matter.
I asked Orpik, I said, he's not going to be a Vezina finalist. And Orpik just said, he doesn't care. And you know what? This win impressed Brooks Orpik tonight. That's not easy to do if you're the Penguins.
No, it's not. And You look at the Penguins right now, 10 in a row. There's no real evident weakness right now. We'll keep an eye on Crosby, see how he continues to progress. And on Saturday, Rob, the Penguins will look for number 11 in a row, and it will not be easy. They're going to their House of Horrors in the Prudential Center.
And I'm glad, too, that there's a hockey game, because apparently my Mountaineers were so pathetic tonight that I don't have to worry about
West
watching that
Virginia.
second round.
Yeah, we missed out on that one. The NHL schedule maker was very good to you.
Everybody in Pittsburgh, enjoy the NCAA tournament
Yes.
at Consol Energy Center. I know the Penguins are very proud of that event. We will be trekking, along with our great photographer and videographer, Chaz Pala, to Newark and then to Philadelphia.
Ooh, the trip gets rougher from here on out.
It's certainly not the city.
He's Rob Rossi. I'm Josh Yohe. He's Chaz Pala manning the camera. This is Trip Total Media.